who is a civilian? They don't carry signs.
Most of the civilians there are terrorists, but you won't see it because it's a mother, it's a daughter, it's a young boy.
Even if he's a soldier, he's just not in uniform.
The IDF got restrictions from above that if someone is not wearing a uniform, they cannot shoot. So what did they do? They took their uniform out and they were civilians.
It is not my responsibility to identify your civilians. I won't shoot a civilian, but tell me who is a civilian. While they're shooting at me, I have to do research and find out who's a civilian. If you're a civilian, let me know that you're a civilian. How? Surrender. If you put down the gun and pick up your hands and say, I stopped fighting, now you're a civilian.
Welcome, Rabbi Friedman.
Thank you so much.
I want to ask you another question. My mother is a Holocaust survivor, and she was the only one who survived. Baruch Hashem. And she has now children, grandchildren, even grand-grandchildren. And sometimes people write me things like, how can it be you, as a daughter of a Holocaust survivor, living in Israel, how can you approve about the war you're doing now against the so-called Palestinians, and you're so cruel, and it's not proportional what you're doing in Gaza, etc., etc., etc. And many times I try to explain to them like how Judaism thinks about war or how Hashem teaches us to do war. But can you give a deeper explanation and more insight that people understand what we are doing, and also reacting on their sentence that they're always saying, like, you have to behave like we do, that if they hit us on one cheek, then we show them the other cheek.
That has never worked with anybody. And nobody actually does that in war. War is a horrible thing. It is a horrible thing. But for some reason, people are more upset if you win the war than they are about the war.
Why do you think so? That they're more upset if we win the war?
What does it mean? It's disproportionate. What does that mean? It means you're winning. How do you win a war if it's balanced? You shoot one, I shoot one. You shoot two, I shoot. How is it going to end? You win a war by being more or better, and you defeat the enemy, and then they have to make peace with you. So what does it mean, disproportionate? Of course it's disproportionate. Even in a boxing match, whoever punches harder wins. Oh, that's not fair. It's disproportionate. Disproportionate. It's a silly argument. Genocide.
Yes.
Israel is committing genocide.
Yes.
If somebody shoots a rocket at you and you shoot back, it's genocide. Know what you're talking about. The word genocide means you're killing a people who are not threatening you. You just don't want them to exist. But if you're killing a people who shoot at you, how is that genocide? Oh, you're killing a lot. Obviously not enough because they're still shooting. So what does genocide have to do with? It's completely ridiculous. There's even, you're killing civilians.
Mm-hmm.
The president of the country that you are fighting with is a civilian. The prime minister, the king, the emperor, he's a civilian. He's not a soldier. He doesn't carry a gun. So you shouldn't shoot him?
Yes, interesting question. At the end, everyone is a civilian.
Everyone is a civilian. Every soldier is a civilian.
As well, yes.
Yeah, you put a uniform on him, all of a sudden you're allowed to kill him? So soldiers, it's okay if you kill them. Why? Because they're here to kill you. The guy who makes bullets in a factory, he's not out to kill you? Even the guy who makes uniforms for soldiers, that's not part of the war? Whoever makes maps, whoever makes plans, that's not part of the war? So I have a very strange question. The most dangerous person in a war is a mother. Because mothers make soldiers. Some people make bullets. Mothers make soldiers. The soldier is much more dangerous than the bullet. So is the mother of the soldier a civilian?
Yes, of course.
But without her, there'd be no army, there'd be no war, there'd be nothing.
Well, without any persons on this earth, then there won't be anything.
Yeah, so...
There's no end to it.
Yes. So, what exactly is a civilian? Is it true that in war you don't shoot civilians? That is such a crazy idea. There has never been a war where you don't shoot civilians. Intentionally.
No, exactly, because you see that the IDF, for example, does everything in its power to kill less civilians, so not soldiers, because now, for example, we are also having rockets from Lebanon, and the IDF took pamphlets and they're calling people, get out of this region because we're going to bomb here and we are after Hezbollah and not after you, which is unique because there's not one army in the world who phones you that they're coming.
But I'm not proud of that.
No, you're not.
Because part of winning a war is to surprise the enemy. Why are you telling them exactly where you're going to be tomorrow? So why are you sacrificing your own soldiers, making it more dangerous for them because you're responsible for the civilians on the other side? Not nice. But more than that, who is a civilian? Israeli soldiers go into a town, let's say like Jenin. They should be careful not to shoot a civilian. How did they know who's a civilian?
They don't know.
They don't carry signs. I'm a civilian.
And not only that, most of the civilians there are terrorists, but you won't see it because it's a mother, it's a daughter, it's a young boy. You don't know. You just don't know.
Even if he's a soldier, even if he's a soldier, he's just not in uniform.
Exactly. By the way, Hamas abused this because that's what they did in Gaza, because the IDF got restrictions from above that if someone is not wearing soldiers' clothing, a uniform, they cannot shoot. And Hamas heard this. So what did they do? They took their uniform down, and then they were civilians. And that is so sad because it really frustrated the soldiers and they felt very neglected and frustrated because they knew that there are terrorists and they cannot do anything.
It's not smart. It's not smart at all. But more than that, it is not my responsibility to identify your civilians. I won't shoot a civilian, but tell me who is a civilian. I can't do research. While they're shooting at me, I have to do research and find out who's a civilian? If you're a civilian, let me know that you're a civilian. How? Surrender. If you put down the gun and pick up your hands and say, I stopped fighting, now you're a civilian.
That is so true what you're saying.
So it is true that we should not kill civilians. But how do we know who's a civilian? Well, it's not our responsibility. If you want to be a civilian, say it clearly, show that you're a civilian. The only way to do that is by surrendering. A person surrenders, you don't shoot him. Interesting thing that when two Arab countries are fighting each other, nobody says anything about civilians.
No, people don't talk about it. They don't even know about it. I mean, the news is not talking about it.
No, the armies don't talk about it. Because they don't want civilians to become shields. The Israeli army keeps telling the enemy, we will not shoot your civilians. So what do you think they're going to do?
Of course, hide behind them.
Another thing. When two Arab countries are fighting, nobody takes hostages. Why? Because it won't do them any good. But Israel says, oh no, we will do everything to bring back a hostage. Oh really? Then we're taking hostages. So you're setting yourself up for these disasters, and then you complain that they take hostages, and you complain that they use civilians as you told them to. So, how do you fight a war in a kosher way?
Yes.
Number one, you fight the war as quickly as possible. Don't let a war last a year.
2.5 years.
70 years.
Yes.
That's the first thing. A war has to happen, then do it quickly, like an operation. You don't do an operation slowly and in stages. Number two, end the war in such a way that there will not be another war for at least 40 years. If you don't get peace for 40 years, you did not win the war. Like World War I. Nobody won. It was just a pause, and it continued in World War II. Peace means 40 years of no aggression.
Why do you say 40? Why do you say 40? Is there a special reason?
Yeah, the Torah says. In the Torah, whenever there was a war and Israel won, the Torah says, and there was peace for 40 shana.
Like 40 years in the desert as well. Everything with 40.
So how do you get that? When you convince the enemy that it does not pay to fight. In World War II, the Allies did not go into Germany. The German people didn't even know that they lost the war. They never saw a tank. They never saw an American soldier. The army can lie to them and say, we won. If you win, then you can try again. So if the people, not the army, if the people don't know that they lost the war, there's going to be another war. So what does it take to convince the country to not try another war? Figure out what it takes And that's exactly what you do as quickly as possible so that you win, and you win quickly. If by killing one person I will have peace, then I'm not allowed to kill two people.
Yes.
If I can win the war by killing 10 people, then I'm not allowed to kill 11. If I have to kill 1 million people to win the war, and I only kill 500,000, there's going to be more war. And all those who died for nothing. So if you don't win the war, it's a disaster. Once you win the war, you can't kill another person. So what is disproportionate? Disproportionate means I killed more people than I needed because there was already peace.
Yes.
Once there's peace, you don't fire another shot. But what brings peace? When the people, not the army, our army can be replaced as we see now. We thought we killed Hamas. They're back and there's more.
As if we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And that really is so sad, so sad. Also for all the fallen IDF soldiers.
Yeah. So to not finish the war is immoral to your own people. So this is how you win a war. You fight it quickly and you fight it the most efficient way. What will it take to make the enemy stop wanting a war? Whatever it takes. Killing off all the leaders? That's a little risky. It's like Trump is saying, we're negotiating with Iran. Really? Who are you talking to? You killed all the leaders. There's nobody left to talk to.
The understudies.
They have no influence. You want somebody who speaks for the country.
Uh-huh.
Who speaks for the country? You killed them all. It's not always a good idea to kill the king first, because then you have no one to negotiate with.
So your opinion about the war going on now in Iran, you're
Taking
also
too long.
thinking it's not the right way they're handling it?
Taking too long. The best army in the Middle East and the best army in the West are bombing them every single day, and they're still shooting rockets?
Yes.
3,000 targets a day. Why is there anything left of Tehran? Where are these 3,000 targets? Why are there still rockets coming out of Iran? Do you have to wipe out the whole city in order to stop this? Like in World War II? Well, then do it. I mean, either fight the war or go home. To drag a war on year after year after year means that the next generation doesn't grow up normal. All they know is guns and sirens and ambulances and enemies. So now you killed another generation. The best war is a 6-day war.
Mm-hmm. We already had one like that. Thank you so much, Rabbi Friedman, for your very interesting way of explaining all these subjects. And I'm sure that my followers loved listening to you. Thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Smadar. You should be matzliach in what you're doing.
Amen.
Because It's literally life-changing and life-saving. It's not just a podcast, and you're not just an influencer.
Thank you so much. And maybe we'll see you next time in our studio. I hope you really enjoyed it. Leave a comment, like, send it to some friends, and shalom. See you next episode.